your host. Big busy time. It is always fun. This is the one that's supposed to be boring, the off session, but not. It's not really. There's kind of 4 years of a term. The first year after a new governor's elected, a little dead that fall. But this time when all the statewides are up, much better situation. Um, let's work through. Let's just go through. Kelton, should we talk state senators statewide today? Let's stay statewide.
Let's do statewide.
Statewide. Let's do statewide. I like that. I like where his head's at. Let's talk about some statewide stuff here. Number one, let's hit some news before we get into the politics. I'm telling you, the biggest story in this state right now that people aren't talking about: next gen reactor. Um, I'll tell you, that nuclear reactor on Truman's campus is a big deal. I swear to God, nothing is as big as the football team. I'm not going to just bullshit you guys. The football team winning is what people actually care about. But I'm going to tell you, the biggest thing this state, it's like, can the state still do big things, right? Relatively good question to ask. With our Lincoln Huff sign sitting right there, yeah, I think doing I-70 is a big damn deal. Don't you think, Kelton? I mean, I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, that's a 10, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Big deal. Now, getting the technology for me to interview Lincoln here in this room without Kelton here, that's probably an 11 on 10, but we failed at that. So the 10 on 10 would be doing I-70, and he did it. But if I'm Truman, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, whoa. I would say the Tigers winning the SEC would be a 10 on 10, right?
Oh, it would be for me.
Probably an 11. But then Truman's like, whoa, the reactor. Today they had a groundbreaking of the reactor. The reactor's a big deal. Don't sleep on the importance of that reactor. I just tell you, here's the flat truth. The reactor has a lifespan. It's like you buy a new roof or you buy new tires. There's a lifespan of those things. There's a lifespan of that reactor. It's coming to the end. They do life-saving cancer drugs they can only make with that reactor. They do research on things. It is sometimes we in Missouri, we kind of talk ourselves down a little bit. That reactor is not just a Midwest or an American or a Western Hemisphere. It is a world-class research thing. And if we don't get that rebuilt, which it's infinitesimally expensive, it's going to take Schmidt. It's going to take Jason Smith. It's going to take Parsons. It's going to take the next governor. It's going to take Lincoln. It's going to take go past Cody, Dirk Deaton. It's a big deal. And so I guess we should start when we bet on the games. That's what we should do, Kel. We should just start doing our own bet. And let's just say the hell with the government. You ready? You got how much cash?
I'm ready.
You got what you got on you?
I don't carry cash.
Damn it. Okay. I'm gonna loan you. I'm gonna front you. 10. Let's start with 10. We're just gonna break the law here because the second big news is Torch won their lawsuit. Kind of. However they did. Here you go, Kelton. I'm gonna everybody see this. This is me loaning Kelton money. There you go. All right. So let's just start every week doing this, Kelton. We got a new tradition on the show before we get into the politics of it. We're gonna have let's look at the line. What is the line for Sunday? I'll pull it up here. I'm gonna go to ESPN, even though I hate ESPN. LSU 6.5. Is that so? LSU ranked 23rd at the number 21 ranked Missouri Tigers. So they're at home playing LSU after a loss. And LSU is a 6.5 favorite. Now, I got to say, Kelton, man, I'm kind of feeling that is I wonder if at the start of the season or back at the 4th of July, if I would have told you Mizzou was 5-0, I would have believed that. They beat Kansas State, right? I mean, they beat, but the 5-0, it's not a soft 5-0. Kansas State's a good team. They were ranked when they beat them. But it's not a super hard 5-0, right? It's not like they've knocked off some SEC opponents, right?
It's definitely not a hard 5-0.
They did beat the smart kids. The only SEC team they beat is the smart kids at Vanderbilt. And if you can't beat the nerds, right, Doug? Doug knows. So anyhow, I'm going to say that if I'd have told you the line would be 6.5, you'd have said, no way, I'm taking LSU all day long, right?
I probably would have said 60.5.
I would have said, if you told me it was 16.5, I'd have kind of said, okay, LSU, Huey Long's University. But Truman, you've done well. LSU stumbled. I mean, if they win this, they're bowl eligible in October. If I'd have told you Mizzou's bowl eligible in October, you would have bet against me all day long, right? Just seriously. I know you're a Mizzou guy.
I would.
I'm not a Mizzou guy. You're a Mizzou guy, but just on the face of it, you would have took the bet to be $10 richer, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so Kelton, I'm going to let you go first. Would you at 6.5? Now we're gonna keep track of these at 6.5. Not a favorite. I want you to take your heart, Kelton. I want you to be like I want you to just rip your heart out. I want you to put it over here to the side, and I want you to tell me: are you taking Mizzou? Are you taking LSU with LSU giving up 6.5?
I'm gonna have to take Mizzou on this one. I think.
Are you gonna take Mizzou?
Oh, absolutely, I am.
I'm taking the
They're on a roll.
Tigers. I'm taking the Tigers. You're taking Mizzou at are you going to take Mizzou to win?
Oh yeah, they got it. It'll be close. but
Would
they
you
got
do
it.
this if I hadn't loaned you the $10?
Oh yeah, I have that much faith in them.
Okay, folks, we're going to the ATM. He's going to get his real money here next week. I'm going to say, all right, I'm going to take LSU. You're going to put me in this spot, huh? Kelton, part of the show is to try to make me look good, but whatever. I thought we could run the LSU number up a little, and then I would we didn't rehearse this, as you could tell. I thought we get this number up to like 12.5, 13, then I would have took Mizzou. You could, but fine. You can look like the good guy. Whatever. Let's put this $10 here on the show. We'll come back here next Tuesday, Wednesday. All right, let's put them here in the soybean things. I need your $10 back. Put them in the soybean trifecta. If anybody out there wants to come in on this that's watching, or if you want in on this bet, I'm going to run my own book. Look, I break a lot of laws. This is not even the top 10 laws I would break today. So Truman, I'm sorry, dude. Cover your eyes. I'm gonna take LSU and give Kelton and Mizzou 6.5. I don't know, man. That line's pretty light. You could text me at 573-429-5770. Kelton, could you do this? Take this pen? Do we have a marker somewhere over here? How do we not? We don't.
I have a pencil.
Pencil's too light. Take this. This pen. And take this piece of paper and fold it the other way, write my cell phone number on it and write LSU minus 6.5. And let's put it up here. And if anybody watching wants to get in on this illegal gambling that we're doing, it's not illegal. I'm just pretty much just flaunting the government. I don't want to flip them off. I don't know what the rules are on YouTube and stuff, but I'm just going to opt out of the government's law about sports gambling. I'm just going to sports gamble. Okay. We're going to do our own little Truman. You can't be a part of this. Dr. Chua gets you in trouble. You can't be in on this. You didn't see this, and neither did you. And we can't let the bear up there see. Gussie Bush, he can see. He's cool. We're just going to do what we want. Mark Ellinger said now gambling, just do what you want. So I'm just going to do what I want, and I'm going to start my own sports book here. I'm not going to call it the Mark Ellinger Honorary Sports Book because he probably wouldn't like that. We're going to call it, what can we call this, Kelton?
Scott Sportsbook.
Scott Sportsbook is good. Scott Sportsbook is good. We're gonna also, if you can name the sports book next week that we're gonna run here, you can you get like 10 free bucks. How about that? The winner gets one free bet. Kelton and I are in. We have so much. I don't think Wheeler actually will like this because Wheeler is also that kind of guy too. So what we'll have here is we have room. I'm not good at counting. I have to take my boots off. We have room for more bets. And so throughout the week, you could just text me. Well, up until kickoff, right? Kickoff at 11 a.m. Is game day coming?
I don't think so, no.
Can you Google that and see if game day's coming?
I'll look it up.
All right. And if game day comes, that's awesome. I think I may go to this concert. You know the guy that sings Richmond, North of Richmond? That pissed off guy with a beard, kind of like Kelton, except it's not. His is like fire red.
I don't know what you're talking about.
There's this guy saying the Richmond, North of Richmond, and that kind of thing. I got tickets to that. I'm gonna go listen to it. It's gonna be cool. I actually look forward to it. It's in a good venue too. Washington County, good people. So we have enough space for however many letters there are in Missouri soybeans, then 1, 2, and we could probably get some tape out. So we're gonna take your bets, and I'm just gonna say I'm gonna do what I want. I should have moved this to like a gas station lobby or the Eagles Lodge or an Elks Lodge where gambling is legal. And I'm just gonna take bets, and we're gonna come up with something cool to call this. We're just gonna run the sports book right here. Here we go. Thank you, sir. Harry Truman would like this. He'd be on our side in this. All right, so let's set this up. We'll put the bullshit button there. Here we go. So you can text me 429-5770, and I will take your Mark Alford's on CNN right now. Dude, I like Mark Alford. That's a guy's guy, isn't he? Mark Alford's just a man's man. I like that freaking guy. He's just a cool dude, man. He's on chime in from Kelton, which I very much appreciate. Love, 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 Kelton Schauhorn. But he's on CNN right now. Thank you for that. All right, let's get into the politics here. We've killed enough time with our grab ass. I don't want to win. I mean, I do want to win. I'm gonna rub it in his face and be like, ha 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 ha. This week in Missouri sports betting. Dave Plemons chiming. I like that. That's not bad. Dave, are you gonna take some action on this? Let's see if Dave wants to chime in. All right. So here's the thing. Let's start at the bottom. Not that the treasure's least important, but maybe kind of. So we got a tip sheet coming out here in the next couple days before the money. Then we'll have one after the money. Big day for Andrew Caney. He got some big checks from Rex Singfield. That's kind of how they do this. The Singfield people, it's a much crisper operation right now. It is there was look, let's be honest with you. There was a time when the Singfield people got involved in something, you're like, well, that's not gonna work. I mean, there wasn't a lot of success. Now to be fair, Singfield people tried a lot of very ambitious things for a long time. So, and they tried a lot of very ambitious things all at once. So it seems like everybody who had a beef with anything they had would all kind of get together to block whatever they were doing. But there's a method to the way they do things now. They cut a check to Andrew Caney, pretty good sized check. Usually that means they're going to cut another one. So they're big on the school stuff right now. God, I guess I'm going to wait. Kelton, at what episode should I just do my full-throated apology to Kate Costas and admit she was right about everything all the time, always?
I'm sure you can wait on it a little bit.
Thanks, because it's going to be. I'm going to drink not of the stein of knowledge. I'm going to drink of the stein of humility. It doesn't taste as good as the stein of knowledge. I'll tell you that right now. It tastes like shit, actually. So anyhow, the treasurer's race. Caney looks like he's going to get money. That's kind of how that. If you look back, as sort of the, I guess we could call it the Mary Ellen Ponder era of the Singfield giving. Lots of winning. I will tell you that. Lots of winning. Lots of seeds sown before, too. I mean, it's not as though, but I'm just, the fact is they have a method they do things now. And it's kind of, if you pay attention, you can kind of see the method and how it works. They cut you a check like that. Then they cut you a bigger check closer to time. But they're, I don't know why. I'm not privy to how exactly, but if you just look at the reports, you can start to pick up a bit of a pattern there. Koenig's running, Cody Smith's running, and Vivek Malik's running. Vivek Malik, and then I saw a poll. Let me just tell you, this is my take on polls. Now this, I'm going to switch over. Now is the sign of knowledge. This is what I think about polls right now. The governor's race, a skosh different because people kind of care. But my take on polls is the only possible thing that a poll has this far out of any value is have they heard of you. Nobody supports anybody. Nobody knows who Cody Smith is in Springfield, much less Lebanon, much less Rolla. There's no way they could. It's not on him. Anybody in his spot, it would be the same. They know you in your community, maybe your media market. Like if you told me Andrew Caney had a little play in the St. Louis media market, I'd be like, okay, I can see a little bit of play there. Hell, Eric Schmidt did every media thing and was good at it for a decade. And he was barely known in the St. Louis media market. And he got tons of publicity all the time and was very good at it. So it is what it is. It's very hard. Name ID is the hardest damn thing. We're going to get to the governor's race last, and it'll just be another glaring reason. Fact of the matter is this. If they know you, they're very likely to vote for you. Vivek Malik has a name that's not a great name to run in Missouri. Just not. Just period. Vivek Malik is raising money, I mean, like a damn internet IP in the 20 years ago. I mean, he knows how to raise money. The guy is also Vivek Malik's like the nicest person in the world. Like if you wanted somebody to be the treasurer of something, you would probably pick Vivek. He looks like an honest guy and he's nice as hell. And he's just a very got an infectious what do you call it? I mean, it's karma is just good. It's a very positive, upbeat guy. I can see why he's a good fundraiser. I mean, good fundraiser, there's an energy about him that's just like, I like that guy. I mean, even if people running against him, they're like, well, he's a nice guy because he is a nice guy. Okay, so as awesome as everything goes, his name not great. There's some things about his culture that's different than a lot of Missourians. I don't know. Here's the difference. Will they have enough money to bring out that difference? You know, Kelton. I mean, if you don't have enough money to tell somebody something, how are you gonna know? But so on the name test, what I would say, Vivek Malik has a marginal name ID lead. I bet Kelton and I could go to not Jeff City, a lot of state employees. He signs all their paychecks. Good for Vivek Malik. I bet you the people that I know who signs a paycheck to me. I look at that name. I want to know that guy. If we went to the mall, let's not do Columbia. Let's go to if Kelton, if you and I drove over to Boonville at the casino, would anybody know there is a state treasurer?
Not a chance.
Not one person. Not one person. Unless you're a state employee, then you'd be like, "Oh, this guy signs my checks. I like that guy." And then they'd probably be like, "I like the last guy. He owned a bar, Fitzpatrick's," which probably Fitzpatrick doesn't own anything to do with, but it's Irish last name. You think they own a bar or they're a cop, one of the two, right? So I guess my point would be, I think Vivek would have a marginal lead going in as the incumbent. He'll have some of the folks that support Mike Parson will support him. I think Vivek Malik has a tough time with one opponent. Cody Smith, Andrew Canning, very similar dudes. Appreciate you, Jim Gwinner. I'm gonna put Jim Gwinner. What should we just put? We'll put Jim down for the Mizzou side. He's a Mizzou guy.
I think that's fair.
We'll have to get some more $10 bills, and then I have to keep track. And then I got to get somebody to go break legs. Who can we get? Can we get Brady to go break people's legs to collect money if they don't pay me?
You know, he's pretty in shape. He works out a lot.
You couldn't run away from Brady. Brady could catch you. I don't know if he could whip your ass when he found you, but he could catch you. Brady's quick. And I would have to get in my truck and just like wear you out. Just track you down. So anyhow, long story long, I do think that I think this. It's going to come down to this. Do Cody Smith and Andrew Canning, if they're both still in that race, and let's talk about that. That's the real brass tacks of what's going on right now. Vivek Malik is in this race. He's not getting out of the race. I don't think he's switching. He's going to be state treasurer. Now, later, could he switch? Of course. I think if you look at Vivek Malik's path to being governor, which is the only reason you run for any of these lower offices, I think Vivek Malik runs for re-election, wins, and then maybe bounces, not like Fitzpatrick, because I think he's going to be auto till he runs for governor, but he bounces to one of the other offices, and I think it'll be fine. That happens in a lot of other states with term limits. It's very common. You go out of the one that's you get in on one that's maybe not as it maybe you get in on the bottom one, and then you move up, and then you bounce to governor. You get that name ID. You get that name ID up. Big deal. So going back to things, I think is Cody Smith and Andrew Canning. Which one of them will have enough money to bounce the other one out by February? I don't know the answer to that. Then if both of them are in the race, which one has enough money to not only build up their profile, but attack the other one and attack Vivek? That's a big deal. Vivek Malik doesn't have to worry about that. He just got to, I think he runs his name ID up. And if one of these guys breaks out from the other one, then he just pounces on that one a little bit. And you know, it's going to be, it's a three-way race. It's going to be very interesting to see how these groups run. I think Axiom has Cody Smith. I would assume Victory has Koenig. Harris is doing Vivek Malik. I would almost be shocked if the school choice people, the treasurer's office used to just do tax credits. They were on the MHDC board. That's when they invested the state's money. So you had some banking money and you had some tax credit money. Now they put a bunch of the school choice stuff in the treasurer's purview, and Vivek has tripled down on putting money into those things. I just wonder if they support him over guys that have passed the laws that let the money go into there. We'll see. So I guess it comes down to that. Who's got the money? Let's bump up. We'll do lieutenant governor next. This is an interesting race to me. Again, it's about who's going to run. Holly Rader's running, great politician, going to raise money. She's not going to make a mistake. She's going to do all her stuff right. Running against Dean Plocker right now. Dean Plocker, interesting race. Some folks have said, man, maybe he could bounce. I would have thought it'd been more advantageous for Holly to bounce, but going back, I don't know that Andrew Canning bounces against Denny Hoskins. Lemke has this really great idea of having a slate of statewide candidates, right? You save on field staff, you have sign locations, you have events to cover. I think it's a really top-down integrated way. It's very innovative. We'll see how well it works, but I just think working on campaigns, I could see the savings that could come to you from that. I think it's a very innovative strategy, and I'm interested to see how it works. Now, and you get those guys. See, it's one thing if you just pick four guys off, or women or whatever, and you said, "Hey, we're going to do this." One of them be like, "No, I want the bet. Your sign's higher than mine, or whatever." These guys from Koenig to Denny to Eigel, they've been kind of together in the Senate for 5 years at least now, and in the conservative caucus, they've worked together. They're tight. It's not like just random people tossed together. These guys have been through some wars together, and I'm a fan of the. I think it's interesting to see how it works. So I don't think Andrew Koenig bounces running against Denny. I just kind of don't. Cody Smith is the one that could bounce, and frankly, I mean, it's a crapshoot of a race in the treasurer's race in a three-way. Cody Smith could bounce into that race, and okay, I don't know that Cody Smith has a lot of loyalty built up to Denny Hoskins that I know of. It could be, I just don't know of it. So, and then you got Axiom on his race. I don't know who Denny has. He might just have. It might just be the Lemke operation, maybe with Victory in there helping Denny. I don't know that Victory represents Denny, but Denny's gonna benefit from some of the organization that the Eigel and Koenig folks have. Denny will be in that crew, and they all kind of pull their own thing. Eigel has a guy out of Washington or somewhere that's not Missouri helping him, so maybe that he helps with that. I don't know the status of that. That's interesting. I'm gonna call Denny and ask him. So I'd say Cody Smith's the most likely one to bounce out of that just because of personal friendships, right? But I don't know. So Secretary of State, Shane Schuler's running. Shane Schuler's let's see what quarter he posts. Shane doesn't need as much money because he's got activists. It's interesting to me to see. I mean, Trump has changed things so much. A lot of Shane's traditional base, Trump has just destroyed. It's interesting to see the effect Trump's had on the Republican Party, not just high end, but like deep into the party. So Shane as a base, I mean, look, Shane's the most logical person to run. I mean, let's be honest. In 2012, gosh, what is that? My Lord, that's been 12 years ago. Geez, I'm old. It was back when Gary Pingle was winning games for you guys, Truman. Shane should have won, but for Todd Aiken being weird. Shane is the Secretary of State. Maybe Governor of Missouri today, frankly, if Todd Aiken wasn't such a creepy weirdo. But events happen as they do, and he's not. So long story long, I do think there's a legitimate setup for Shane to be a contender. You're gonna have to have the money. Denny is raising money. I assume. I mean, the torch case is big for Denny because now you got VLT people see a path to stay in the game. Now, if the IP goes on the ballot from the Chiefs and the Cardinals, could change that. But I mean, those guys, that was a good day for Denny's campaign. Got to keep the gambling issue alive and kind of go from there. Denny will have money. Denny will be a good campaigner. Denny's a veteran. So there's some good things he has to say. But I still think that the lanes in these primaries are like you got your Reagan Republican and then your new Republican. Denny's staked out the new Republican lane. So he'll have a primary. They all have a primary. These consultants got to eat too. And so who he has in the primary, I don't know yet. Caleb Broud, maybe. Ratliff acted like Caleb was running. We'll see. Adam Schwadron talking about running. If Caleb doesn't run, I think you're going to see somebody else jump in. Could be Dean slide over, could be Cody slide over, could be another candidate get in. I think there's a hole there to jump into. If Caleb doesn't pull the trigger, probably we're getting by Halloween. If he hasn't pulled the trigger by Halloween, and now Caleb Broud could decide the last day of filing he wants to run, and he would have people come to his aid in big ways, and he would have a lot of money to do this. Caleb makes deep friendships and enemies, but deep friendships. So, and Caleb might not give a damn who all's in it by that point. I've just always kind of felt like nobody could understand the personal toll of the last 5 years of Senate leadership, the hardest 5 years since the Civil War to be in the state Senate you've had. And I would think the guy might want to catch his breath. Now, I don't know that. And Ratliff indicated when he sat in this chair that he was going to run. And so if anybody's going to know, it's going to be Ratliff. But in my opinion, it'll be interesting to see how he can what he ultimately decides to do. If he doesn't decide here in the next 4 weeks, I think you'll see somebody else hop in there. Going to the next thing is going to be the lieutenant governor race is going to be, you could say they're going to attack. They're going to attack. Are they? I mean, You could attack Dean when you're speaker. There's also attack you about. You attack Holly about PDMP if you wanted to. If people still even remember or care. I'm going to say this: in all these races, since this is gambling day on this week's Republic's Midweek Update, I'm going to introduce you to the Ployce principle. If you'll see my site of knowledge this week, which I very much appreciate, from a buddy of mine in New Haven. One day he'll be running for state rep. But you see the top, it says Larry. It's carved in there. See Larry. I have a friend named Larry Ployce. Great dude. Government relations for Spire. What people don't know is Gary also won The Price is Right. And so we're going to call this the Ployce principle. You give me a statewide race, and I'm going to put my illegal gambling bet on the person with the most money. Kelton, could you please show what we're doing here? I'll use this as my pointer. Up that up. So this is The Price is Right. Missourian, Springfieldian Bob Barker. You'll see this is a veteran that Larry's about to totally decimate. He comes up, and then you remember Rod Roddy, the old announcer. I used to watch this at my grandma's. This lady, she has no idea what's about to happen. She comes down. Then it's like, remember, it's like, come on down. Oh, there's our man. There you go. The Wardsville Warrior on the first varsity team of the reigning state champion Blair Oaks Falcons. There's Larry. And then I think somebody else that Larry beats comes up. Yeah, there's this person. I feel like John Madden. If you're old, you'll know that. Not the video game guy, the announcer that could do like X's and O's. This lady comes down to meet her doom. Then Bob Barker, Missouri's own, in the Hall of Famous Missourians. Bob's going to come out, and here he is. Look at that guy. The Me Too movement. Say this guy getting out of showbiz when he did. Me Too might have just sank our man. I mean, he might not be in the Hall of Famous Missourians. That Me Too folks will get a hold of him. There he is. Look at that head of hair. What the hell? That's Lakin-esque. That's John Lamping level hair. Now he comes in. Look at the checkered suit before everybody else is wearing it. Look at that microphone. That's like an old school wrestling announcer microphone. All right, we clap. All right, come on, Bob. Everybody knows. Let's wrap this up. So when I'm telling you, whoever has the most money, that's who I'm taking in our illegal gambling pool here. And we'll start betting on these races too. Look, he always calls out an old lady in the crowd, and you know that she's like been dreaming of Bob Barker talking to her with those dulcet tones. And Bob knew how to work the crowd. So there's a little Tonka truck thing, a little four-wheeler. Like, who would want that crap? But you have to bid on it. If you've never seen The Price is Right, what do you live in a cave? But also, you have to bid the most without going over. So that's the key to this. So one of our nation's heroes is going to bet. Oh, he's throwing some candy in because sponsorship placement. Bob knows how to get paid, baby. There it is. See, one of Barker's beauties. I swear to God, I didn't make. That's what they call them. Don't send your Me Too stuff to me. They call them Barker's beauties. That's what they call them. Back before people got offended every 3 seconds. All right, so here we go. He's gonna bet on what that whole thing costs. All little driver trucks of the candy. $6.50. She's gonna go higher. Oh, and this is Larry. Larry's gonna Ployce it down. $7.51, baby. And then she don't know what to say. She goes 800. Look at Larry. I mean, you have to bid the most without going over. He put 751 on her. All right, thank you, Kelton. You can leave that running, actually. So the Ployce principle, he went $1 over. And so the bet I'm extending to you is, including all the C4, dirty money, dark money, Missouri Independent, whatever you want to call it, money. When everything's squared up, I'm going to say the Ployce principle is I'm going to take the person that's $1 more than everybody else. And that's my thing. If you have $1 more, I'm in. If you have $1 less, I bet you lose. People say money isn't the most important thing. Those are poor people. That is not real. Ratliff tried to tell you it's about money. It's about money. It just is. And you know when it's totally about money? When somebody says it's not about money, then it's totally about money. So wrapping up your governor's race, let's just put a pin in that. My take on it is, so I've seen some polls. I don't think Ashcroft is trending up in the polls. I just don't. I don't think if anything, there's a name ID sugar high. I still think he's the favorite by just common sense. I've seen some emails from Katie Ashcroft. Katie is a very, very valuable political asset. She's very genuine, real, and very nice. You want to play. She's from West Plains. You want to be in on whatever she's kind of doing. Like, all right, that's cool. Those are good. I would. She is someone you utilize. People have made fun of some Jay's outfits, and they are kind of funny. But I've seen him dress a little differently around town. But the more when Katie's around, he looks a lot more suave and cool. I think Eichel's running the best campaign. I think he's been attacking Kehoe a little bit in Central Missouri. And Central Missouri will be that place where Mike Kehoe's known, and it's not about being lieutenant governor. It's about owning a car dealership for a long time. That's where the name ID is. So that's a little softer name ID probably than some stuff. Ashcroft, I mean, they're all running off name ID. That's all you could. Nobody has time to know something about 3 people running for governor next summer. That's just not real. So the only thing is real is the money you're raising and the name ID you're building. So I would say Ashcroft comes in with near universal name ID. He might even start a campaign as high watermark. He can come down some and still win. And he hasn't done his own, but I think what you're going to see is if Mike Kehoe comes up or Bill Eigel comes up and they cut him down, you're going to go back to the name you know. So if Bill Eigel has a surge, which I think before this campaign's over, at the very least, Bill Eigel's going to have a surge. And somebody's going to spend money to knock him down. Well, I think what does that voter do that like kind of isn't paying attention? Then when he starts paying attention, he hangs on to Eigel, which I think is a very likely scenario for a lot of voters. Then you're going to get knocked down and be like, oh, I didn't know he did this. It'll just be the political stuff, whatever. People say, oh, he didn't do that or he did do that or whatever. I don't have time for that. But they'll knock him down. Then does that guy go back to the name he knows, which I think is, if you're the Ashcroft campaign, that's probably your legitimately best strategy is when these guys surge at me and they get knocked back down, they come back to me because they know the name. So that's kind of where I'm thinking. I will go with the police principle. There's also 2 common sense principles. One, United Fiber is doing a hell of a job up there in St. Joseph. If you want the best argument to continue to do rural broadband at United Fiber. Number 2, Courtyard by Marriott. If you look, don't stay somewhere that sucks. Just don't. The second police principle, stay in the good hotel. Duh. You come in town, you get some meetings, you want to go see governor's staff or something. Don't tell them that you stayed in somewhere that sucks. Stay somewhere that's good. Look at the old KRCG commercial. I like that. But anyhow, thank you all for watching. We have a very special edition. Hannah Beers is going to host the show. Who's she having on, Kelton?
I know James Owen will be there.
James Owen. Well, that's who we've confirmed. Hannah Beers is going to host the show. She's going to do a great job. Looking forward to watching her host the show. Hoping I want to do a good job, but just I'm in vanity. I don't want to do too good a job. People are like, oh, I like her so much better. It's probably going to happen, isn't it, Kelton?
You might have a little competition.
Okay. Well, next week, it may be Hannah here running the illegal sports book and not me. But she's going to be great. I'm looking forward to seeing what she does in her perspective, her questions. The police principle, whoever has $1 more, put your money on them. When they say it's not about the money, it's about the money. Hannah Beers hosts the show Sunday. I'll be probably doing something nefarious and making poor choices. And we'll see what's up here. Text me, 429-5770. LSU giving up 6.5 points to Mizzou. Kelton making me look like the freaking bad guy. Thank you, jerk. We'll see who rubs it into who next week here on This Week in Missouri Politics.